Gonna be my video? Hi, okay, so I just got home now from a bachelorette that started at 2 in the afternoon and it's still going on now. I left at about 20 to 12. I'm home now, it's 12:15. And I thought I would make a video on what it's like to go out with a bunch of people who are drinking to places that I would have frequented when I was drinking. And yeah, just to talk about overall, I'm like 5 years, 4 months sober, and for the most part I don't think about it anymore. I don't care. It's I like that I don't drink. I don't crave it, really. Same with smoking. I quit smoking when I was like 6 months sober, so I don't crave really that anymore either. Occasionally, like I guess if after I eat like a big meal, I might crave like a bit of a cigarette, I guess, but not really. The cigarette cravings went away after the first couple of years. They dropped significantly after the first year of quitting smoking. And with drinking, it was longer than that. The cravings still happen every once in a while, but as the years go on, the cravings get less and less intense, and the frequency is less often. But it's funny, the only times I really care about drinking and I get super triggered and I really miss it and stuff is when it's like a big event. It's funny because Christmas, I don't really care. Halloween, I care a lot if I go out. Then I really miss it and I'm sad that I can't drink and I get triggered all over the place. And Halloween's my favorite time of year, so like the past couple of years I just don't go out for Halloween and I just stay in, and it's sort of sad, but at the same time I just do that to protect my own self because I want to drink and I can, and it's just sad. And other big events, any big event where I normally would have gotten so extremely excited for and gotten super drunk for, those are the events that I care a lot about. Like that it's hard for me to go and be sober. But hey, baby kitty. Okay, so, and bachelorettes, for instance, too. So last summer was one of my best friend's bachelorette, and her wedding was in August, which is now actually, so pretty much a year ago. And that bachelorette was hard for me because this is my one friend, the one who was getting married last summer, where we've known each other since we were 13, and so we had a long history of drinking together every time we hung out, basically. So her bachelorette was hard for me because I was very sad that I wasn't like that anymore and I couldn't drink like that anymore, and it was her bachelorette and it would have been really cool, and you know, and it was a pool party and it was outside and it was so nice. And so when I look back at her bachelorette, like there's some good parts, but overall I just get the memory of feeling sad and jealous and uncomfortable physically too, because I had gained weight and last summer I felt yucky in my own body. So all those feelings and thoughts come into my head whenever I think about her bachelorette, which sucks. But and then tonight, this bachelorette was actually my ex-girlfriend. We dated in like 2006, 2007, and then just remained friends. So it was her bachelorette tonight, and we hit up a few different bars and pubs and a virtual reality place. It was so cool. And there was 12 of us. So, and I was the only sober one. Nope. I don't know if Brie was drinking or not, actually. I don't know. Anyway, out of the 12 of us, I was the sober or one of the only sober people. And it was funny because it was, with that Bachelorette, it's like there was the different spectrums of gayness, where there was the most straightest person in the room up till the most gayest person, being the woman who's about to marry a woman. So there was the spectrum of sexuality, and also there was a spectrum of drunkenness, as you would get with any group of people. So one, I was the most sober up until 12, which was this woman who was from the States, who was the most drunkest, from Chicago. And but then more people caught up to her as the night went on, you know what I mean? Anyways, so it was neat to see the full spectrum. And I'm one of those people, I don't get annoyed by drunk people. I know a lot of people do. I don't get annoyed at all. The only thing I get is jealous. And I have, sometimes I get sad over it. Most of the times I don't. Most of the times I'm just like, who cares, whatever, you're drunk for one night, like, it's no big deal. But again, on special occasions, like tonight, I get sad and jealous. But it's funny because this Bachelorette was actually, it was good. I mean, last year's one was too. But last year's one, it was in one house, one place, with only a few people. I don't know, 6 people or so. But this one, it was double the people. We had lots of different stops, and it was in public and lots of different places and things to do. So it was really fun. And I knew most of the people there. So yeah, it was nice, but, and everyone was drinking the whole time, all through the day. And the last stop that we made, we went to a bar here, Charlie's, in Halifax. And that's a place where it brought back a lot of memories of when I used to drink. I didn't see anyone I knew there, though. I was surprised. It's a Wednesday night, though, so it makes sense. And so, yeah, it was bringing back a lot of memories. And all day I was fine. I wasn't really triggered. I didn't really care that I wasn't drinking, whatever. But when we were at Charlie's, then I was starting to, what started it was I was sitting right next to the door where you go outside and smoke. And I think I could smell cigarettes. And the jukebox was on. That's what did it too. It was a bunch of different things. The jukebox was playing music that, like, I could get up and put on songs that I knew all the words to, but I didn't. And I could smell cigarettes, and all day smelling alcohol all day. Normally didn't bother me, but we were there at that dark and dingy bar with a jukebox and smoking outside, and just beer and alcohol all in front of me, all on this table, and it was dark and dingy, and there was just that feel to it. And yeah, and that I was starting to get a little, like, not sad. I wasn't sad really all day and night. I had a really good time, but I was getting like a longing. I had a longing, and I was craving it, I guess. That's what you can fucking say. Where it was cigarettes at first, and then it was drinking, and then I was starting to really crave it. And then I was starting to remember what my life used to be like in, like, say 2013, or 2012, or fuck, 2007, 2002, I don't know, but, you know, remember back in the day, and how I would just, if I was still drinking in that moment, I would have just done a bunch of shots, and I would have just chugged a bunch, and I would have went out on that deck and smoked a bunch and sang loud, just like everyone else was doing. So I didn't feel left out. It didn't. I just felt longing and jealousy, and I was grieving again for saying goodbye to that part of my life, to that era of my life. And sometimes it's sad for me to say goodbye to that era of my life. I already did. I said goodbye to it 5.5 years ago, but yeah, sometimes it's really sad that I won't get those days back. Like the good parts of it, even the bad parts of it, man. I don't know. It sucks sometimes. Because there's parts of my old life that I miss a lot. It's not even like, they don't even make, the parts that I miss don't even really make sense. Like I miss getting ready and like wearing clothes that make me feel good, and doing my hair and makeup like in a really nice way, and then drinking as I'm getting ready, and walking to the place, walking out alone out in the air, fresh air, and drinking out of a water bottle, and like, and smelling the crisp air at nighttime, and you're walking to the next place and you're full of anticipation because you're about to go into a house party, you're about to go into a bar, and like when you're in there and you're singing loudly with everybody and dancing, and time is going slow or sometimes going fast, and then the walk home or walk to your cab or whatever it is, and you're out in the still of the night, because after I left the bar I had to walk back to my car, which was only like a 5-minute walk, but it was the same way I would have walked in like 2013 when I lived in that area and when I was still drinking. So it was, a lot of it was so similar, except I wasn't walking back to my house on Kennard Street, and I wasn't drunk. The differences was I actually had a car I was walking back to, and I didn't live on Kennard Street anymore, and I was sober, and felt fine. I felt great and happy, but had that tinge of longing and missing it. But I know that this feeling will go away by the time the morning comes. I don't know about most people, but I know for me, I get a lot more deep thinking when it's nighttime. So this makes sense that I'm feeling this way, because it's almost like 12:30 at night, and hence why I'm like on the bottom floor of my house, because my fiance's on the top floor sleeping, and I didn't want to wake him with my words. But hi baby. So what was I saying? Yeah, so nighttime is when I get these deep thoughts and stuff like that, and it makes sense that this is when I would start to get triggered and have cravings for my old life, some aspects of my old life, not all of it. And yeah, I feel it's thinking about an old friend that died. That's what it's like, where you miss them, but that's life. Like you can't change it. Because the only difference really with that analogy is like, okay, yes, I could start drinking again. You can't really use that same analogy. Like my friend's not going to be a zombie, and it's just not going to be the same, but anyway, I'm not going to drink again. I'm not going to do that. That would ruin my life and everything I've built. And it's not very often at all I ever get these thoughts. And when I do, like I said, it's very short-lived. By the time the morning comes, I'm going to be back to my normal self and I'll feel fine. But I think it's important to notice these times when they happen and not ignore it. But what I did have to do is not allow myself to dwell on it too much when I was at the bar, because it just makes it feel worse for me. I couldn't go through with thinking more deeply into what it would taste like, what it would feel. I couldn't do that because it would be torture for me. I just allowed myself to think about those cravings and feel that longing, and then I would be distracted. But that's just for my own mental health to do. But anyway, they're all at karaoke now, and they're all having a great time, and I'm glad I'm home. I really am. I'm glad I'm not out there. Because really, realistically, when you think about it, if I was still drinking and I was out, there's a very good chance I would have embarrassed myself somehow. I would have done something stupid or dangerous. I pretty much did that every time. Well, and I wouldn't be driving. I would have been spending so much more money. I'm really glad I'm not in that spot anymore. Honestly, I wish I was able to only get crazy drunk once or twice a year, but I can't. I know that's not possible. I've heard too many stories of people like me who think they can, and then they go out and they do it, and then they're right back where they started, and they lose shit, and it's horrible, and they can't do it, and it's torture, and it's a big lesson learned. So I take their stories and experiences to heart, and I know I can't do it. I know I can't do it. Because I still have that little voice inside me, and I can still hear it sometimes, that craves destruction. 100%. Destruction physically, and destruction of myself, and destruction and anger. I have a lot of internalized anger. I've been coming to realize over the past month or so. I've been shining more light on that. But anyways, I digress. Just saying. I'm glad I'm not in that spot, and I know I'm not going to go back out or start to drink again, because I know I can't do it. I'm not a normal person. I'm just not. That's reality. I had my chance and I blew it. That's what my fiance says, is that I fucked up. I did it too much. I did it so much that I had to stop, and now I can't go back. That's my own fault. That's what I did. I guess you could say it's in my DNA. I don't know what it is, but I'm an alcoholic. Sucks, but it is. It's true. Can't be a normal person. And that's okay. Just some nights like this, it just is unfortunate that that's reality, but it is, and overall I'm very happy about it, because I'm not literally putting poison in my body, because that's what it is. It's poisoning your body mildly, sometimes moderately, and I'm not about that life, and I'm glad I'm not, because I feel great. And I'm 35, and I know the older I get, the better, not the older I get, the better I feel, but in comparison to other people my age who still drink, I feel like maybe overall I might be doing a little bit better than them, like with my internal organs at least, and like my skin and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, there's so many benefits to it, but anyway, that's it. I just had to get on here and with, why are you so soapy? I just had to explain all this, so I'll upload this tonight, and yeah, comment. I read all your comments, just not every day. And yeah, I appreciate you all, and if you listen to this whole thing, it's 19 minutes long. Bless you. Anyway, that's it.